Lesson number 3. Hello, boys and girls. This is Aunt Fernita, and I have a wonderful story for you called Ears to Hear. Today's memory verse is from 1 Samuel chapter 3, verse 9. Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. The message for today's story is, we serve God when we listen to His voice. When someone calls you to come, do you go quickly or do you move slowly or not at all? Little Samuel heard someone calling him. Well, what do you think he did? Eli, the old priest, snored peacefully in his bed. The little boy Samuel slept soundly nearby. The Lord looked lovingly at the sleeping Samuel. Samuel, Samuel, the Lord spoke. Samuel opened his eyes. Had someone called him? He hurried to Eli's bedside. Here I am, Samuel said, entering Eli's darkened room. You called me? Eli opened his eyes. I didn't call you, he said sleepily. Go back to bed. Samuel did as he was told and quickly fell asleep again. Again the Lord looked lovingly at the sleeping Samuel. Samuel, Samuel, the Lord called again. Samuel's eyes popped open. He hopped out of bed. That surely must be Eli calling him. He hurried to Eli's room. Here I am, he said. How may I help you? Eli opened his eyes again. I didn't call, he whispered. Go back to bed. Samuel walked slowly out of Eli's room. Someone had called him. If it wasn't Eli, who could it be? Samuel did not recognize the Lord's voice because he had never heard it before. Samuel lay back down, and very soon he was sound asleep again. Once more, the Lord looked lovingly at the sleeping Samuel. Samuel, Samuel, the Lord said a third time. Samuel opened his eyes, and once more he hurried to Eli. Here I am, he said. Suddenly, Eli knew who was calling the boy. Go back to bed, Eli said. If he calls you again, say, Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. Samuel's heart beat really fast. Could it be the Lord was speaking to him? But why? Why would the Lord call his name? Samuel went back to bed, but this time he lay there with his eyes wide open. He waited and he listened. Samuel, Samuel, the Lord said in a gentle voice, and Samuel answered, Speak, for your servant is listening. The Lord smiled. He knew that Samuel, even though he was only a child, would listen to him. Samuel truly wanted to be God's helper. And God wants you to listen to him today. He wants you to be his helper too. You listen to him when you listen to his Bible words. You listen to him when you learn your memory verse. Listen carefully for God's words when you read his Bible. They will help you to be his helper every day.
This podcast was brought to you by Studio El Piso and Gracelink.net. For more children's resources, please visit Gracelink.net.